And this is something that's so important, especially as we get older. As we get older, we start to think that we are who we are and we don't need to have fun. Welcome to the Love Your Brain podcast, the podcast designed for everyday people who are ready to hop off the negative thought hamster wheel and enjoy a less hostile environment in their own brains. Our brains are where we live our entire lives, and I'm on a mission to help people see that they have everything they need to make it a happier place to be. So join us for this episode of the Love Your Brain podcast. Let's get started. Welcome back to this week's episode. This week is going to be a little personal for me, but I hope you are along for the ride because it is going to be fun. And that is tapping into the energy of Mary Poppins. If you know me, you know that I absolutely adore Mary Poppins. I have since I was little. I just love her story and her character. Now, maybe you're not familiar with Mary Poppins, so I'll give you a little brief summary of the story. Mary Poppins is this nanny that comes to this family. They're a very wealthy family and they've got staff that help them, and it's just everything is all on a schedule and very organized. The dad, particularly, is pretty rigid, and they need this nanny to really help keep the kids in line. That's what the dad says, because they've got these two kids that are just, they're like normal kids. They want to go out and have fun, but they kind of give a hard time to all the previous nannies that they've had. So they want this new nanny to come in and really be able to just have this structure and keep the kids in line. And then Mary Poppins comes. And Mary Poppins is very different. Mary Poppins creates magic everywhere she goes, and she's just not your run of the mill nanny at all. And so she goes through and she gets to know the kids and she starts creating these fun adventures for them. And the funny thing about Mary Poppins is she is very prim and proper and she is very organized and structured, but she also puts fun into everything that she does. And you'll see as the story develops, she really changes the whole family and kind of helps them to transform while taking care of these kids and helping them to have these very fun experiences in their day-to-day life. And this has always been a significant story for me, something that I've loved watching and learning about because I really do think Mary Poppins can teach us a lot. There's so many things about Mary Poppins that I just find so inspiring. One of the things I love about her is that she just goes about life in a very magical way. She creates magic as she goes along, but it's not as if she creates a spectacle of it. It's simply she is going through and she is doing what she's doing, and magical things are happening. And everyone around her is like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you just did that. But to her, that's just how she operates. I don't know about you, but I think that would be an incredible way to live. That you're just going through life, magic is happening around you, and to you it's normal, but everyone else is like, holy cow, how are you doing that? Another thing that I love about Mary Poppins is she is just her. She doesn't really care about what's happening around her and how people are perceiving her. She is who she is. And she is so good at having fun. Now, in the story, Mary Poppins is often talking about how important it is to find fun in our everyday activities. I think one of her quotes is like, in every job that must be done, there is an element of fun. And then it makes that job easy. It makes it a breeze, right? And that is so true. If you go through life and doing all these mundane daily activities, but you incorporate fun into them, it can completely change the experience. One of the cool things about having fun is you lose track of time, right? Time goes so fast, you forget about everything else. Because when you're having fun, you're so in the moment, you're in the experience that you completely forget that time is passing. Another cool thing about fun is it's one of those things where we can often unlock a part of ourselves, a creative part of ourselves that we don't normally tap into. And this is something that's so important, especially as we get older. As we get older, we start to think that we are who we are and we don't need to have fun and all of that. Now, in the story of Mary Poppins, the dad, who's the banker, he's, very mature, very prim and proper. He is the anti-fun. He really, in the beginning of the story, is just showing that, life is better when things are structured and you're mature, and he wants his children raised to be very prim and proper. And it isn't until you get to the end of the story that you really start to see that he starts to embrace all this fun and magic even at his mature age, and it's really cool to see. And it's so important. It's important not just to have fun when we're younger, but also to have fun when we're older because it's a part of our development. Actually, a lot of scientists now they won't use the word fun necessarily, but in scientific language, a lot of scientists now are finding that playful people, people who know how to have fun and regularly have fun, are actually more likely to develop coping strategies for life, and they're able to adapt better to new environments. So, in fact, those people are not only able to live a more fuller life, they're able to live a longer life and a more adaptable life. So there you go. Natural selection is now favoring people who are fun and playful. And play and fun, it awakens so much of our brains that allows us to create new things, to build new things, to make new discoveries. It builds this capacity for advances for our whole culture, right? Is when people are having fun, they learn new things, they discover new things, they unlock new things. It's so important for that as well. Another thing about fun is that it's so free of judgment. When we are having fun and we are truly in the moment, we're not thinking about what we should be doing, right? We're just enjoying the moment. We're not thinking about what other people are perceiving. We're just enjoying the moment. And that is something that as we get older is so important to have those moments where we can truly just have fun and enjoy ourselves and be free of all of the shoulds and all of the what is someone thinking about me, or this looks stupid, or whatever the case is. Having fun unlocks that part of our brain again that allows us to just be ourselves. And it allows us to tap into our inner child, to allow ourselves to be free to enjoy whatever we enjoy. When kids are little, they don't think about, like, oh, I really shouldn't enjoy this, right? They're just enjoying what they enjoy. We see this all the time. Kids will pick up something that everyone else thinks is like, well, that's the dumbest toy ever, and they just love it, right? They just enjoy it and they don't care. Like, you could buy a super fancy toy for your kid, but they might find this one cardboard box in the trash and they're like, oh, this is the coolest. I'm going to make it into something. And they just have hours and hours of fun with that cardboard box. And unfortunately, as we get older, we start to judge ourselves and how we have fun. Like, I should be having fun. Like, my friends are having fun. People my age normally do X, Y, or Z, so I should be doing that too. Instead of really leaning into what feels inside like it's opening up a part of ourselves, like it's igniting that excitement for life, that it's igniting that creativity. Those are all things that we start to let go of as we get older that are so important. And that's what I love about Mary Poppins, because she is an adult, she's older, and she's, respectful, and she's well put together, but she also knows how to have fun, and she knows how to create fun for other people to enjoy, which is so cool. Another neat thing about fun is it's so attractive and magnetic. If you are out there having fun, people want to engage with you. They want to get to know you. It's just natural. You become like this magnetic energy that people come to. And you'll see in the storyline of Mary Poppins, that happens too. People just want to join in on the fun. The people, at the house she's a nanny at, they start to want to engage in some of the fun songs and the things that she's doing. And over the course of the whole story, the father starts to want to have a part in the fun too, even though initially he was very against it. That's just what happens. People are drawn into people that are enjoying themselves and having fun and really just tapping into the enjoyment of life. Another thing about fun is that it really can help you feel a little bit less controlling. And I'm saying that to you as someone who tends to be a little bit over the top with control. When you are really in the mode of having fun, typically you're a lot more open to the flow of how things are going and just letting things unfold as they unfold. And that's such a healthy exercise, right? Because as we get older, we can get stuck in our routines and we can get stuck in the day to day of all the things that must be done. And if you remember in the story of Mary Poppins, their days truly unfold. Now she does, try to have some healthy framework in there of like, now it's time, we got to get back home and such and such. But in those free times, they're just going with it. They're going to different lands, they're riding on carousels, they're stuck on the ceiling with the guy that can't stop laughing. They're just letting things unfold. And that is something that I think is so important. And I just think overall, there's so many parts of who Mary Poppins is that I think if we could tap into, the world would be such a fun place. Another thing that I think is really cool about Mary Poppins is this whole idea of her magic. That her magic is something that is just a part of who she is. It's a part of how she moves through life. And it's fascinating to the people around her how she can make this magic happen. But to her, that's just how she operates. Don't we wish, all of us, that we could do that, that we could have some magical capability that's just a part of who we are, that, we could, make magic happen everywhere that we go, and people are just like, oh my gosh, how did they do that? And I think, although this obviously, we're not going to be making magic tricks everywhere we go, but I think there are so many things inside of us that each of us has that are magical, that maybe we don't even see as magical, but because we don't see it around us very often, we kind of keep it hidden. These quirky parts of us, these kooky things, maybe that our little magical gifts that we have to share to the world, we kind of keep them hidden because we don't see it around us. We don't see it displayed very often. And so we kind of judge it a little bit and keep it away and don't share it. But what if we were all like Mary Poppins and just let it become a part of who we are and go with it, and not think twice about it? I think so many of us could just enjoy other people's magic, and that could be so cool. The awe and the wonder of being able to see people fully in their essence, fully in their authenticity, being able to just enjoy life and enjoy all the things around them. Now, there's this really cool scene in Mary Poppins in the movie where, and I'm sure, a portion of this might be in the story as well. There's this scene where Mary Poppins is giving each of the kids some medicine, but as she pours out the medicine, you can see in the spoon that it changes color. And then when the kids take it in, it actually tastes to be a different flavor. And this is kind of like part of that magicalness that you see happen at multiple points in the story that Mary Poppins just naturally does. She doesn't make it a spectacle and say, let me make a different flavor for each of you. It's just naturally what she does. And one of the things that I think is really cool about this is although we as humans may not naturally have that ability, although who's to say there isn't, but we do have natural abilities that want to naturally exude from us if we would just let them. I think of, for example, people who are really, really good at making celebrations for other people that the person would enjoy that's being celebrated. You know what I mean? So, for example, if you're someone who just can throw a really good birthday party that the person whose birthday it is will actually really enjoy. That's a talent, let me tell you. And it doesn't need to be a spectacle. It doesn't have to be this whole ego-driven thing for the person throwing the party, but they can very easily know what that other person is going to enjoy, and they can carry out that plan in a way where the birthday person really enjoys it. I think that's magical. That's not something everyone can do. It's really easy to create a party you would enjoy yourself, but to create something for another person that they fully enjoy is so neat. And that's kind of what I see in this part of the story with Mary Poppins and creating this flavor of medicine unique for each of the kids is it's a little bit of her magic that naturally came out, and we can have that too. And another part of all of this that I think is so cool is that Mary Poppins never planned for these things to unfold or occur. They just naturally flowed out of her. I think Something that's really important is making intentional time just to go with the flow of the magic of the day, with the fun unfolding as it is. This is something that I don't always do a really great job of. I always love to like have everything planned in advance of everything that needs to be done. But I can tell you, and I'm sure you've experienced this too, some of the greatest moments happen when we allow things to just unfold and we follow the fun. That looks fun. Let's just try it. Maybe it wasn't on our schedule, maybe it wasn't on our itinerary, but we're just going to give it a whirl. We're going to go for it. And Mary Poppins is great at doing that. And I think the other thing too is not being afraid of what it might mean, what it might say about us, right? Mary Poppins is not going around wondering that if she acts a certain way or another, that people are going to think something about her and it's going to mean she's a different person. At least we don't see that in the story. But so many of us live our lives always trying to find meaning of who we are instead of experiencing who we know ourselves to be in the world and not judging it, not worrying, oh, if that person looks at me that way, what does that mean about me? Does that mean that I'm a different kind of way that I don't want to be? That's something that I'm always working towards on a regular basis, is just leaning into that Mary Poppins energy, that energy of embracing the magic, embracing the fun in every moment, even as I get older, and really just living life to its fullest. I hope wherever you're listening to this, whatever experiences you're having, that you can lean into your Mary Poppins energy a little bit, lean into the fun, lean into the magic, maybe unlock some things for yourself that feel good, that feel authentically you and magical, maybe something that you've kept hidden for a while, but you're ready to explore and unleash. I hope that for you today, and I will see you next week. I hope you found something helpful here today on the Love Your Brain podcast. Maybe a laugh or a feeling of validation, or maybe just a few moments to have company while you do your laundry. Whatever you take from it, I hope you enjoyed your time and leave feeling empowered to be more you every day. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out on the next episode, and leave a review. I'd love to hear what you think. Have a great one.